Welcome to Fenway Park on a beautiful night for baseball as we get ready for the middle game of a three-game series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, tonight we see Jake Peavy's first start in a Red Sox uniform after the trade deadline. Jake Peavy tonight, certainly some pressure on him in his first start, but he'll also be matched up against a very good pitcher in Patrick Corbin, who's on the mound tonight for the Diamondbacks. Good pitching matchup. Corbin was selected to his first National League All-Star team this year, has a 3.28 earned run average in road games on the season. Overall, 12-2 with a nifty 2.24 ERA. And Jake Peavy has won 6 of his last 7 games when he's pitched it and lasted 6 innings. Peavy's 13 wins and 194 Ks in 29 starts against Arizona are the most against any major league team. And Jake Peavy ready for his first start in a Red Sox uniform. We welcome in Jerry Remy. And Jerry, the Red Sox wanted to get a big starter. They get one of Jake Peavy. Tonight's his first go-around.
Well, the two guys that we kept hearing about were Cliff Lee, obviously with Philadelphia, and Jake Peavy, and they ended up with Jake Peavy, and I think that's the guy that they really wanted. Now, the concern tonight is, anytime you go to a new ball club, pitch at home for the first time, you're a little bit nervous no matter how many times you've pitched at the major league level, and Jake Peavy certainly has pitched a lot. But the fact is, if he can try to get through those first inning nerves, he should be able to settle down and give the Red Sox a good outing in this ball game tonight. I think in the long run, Don, this is going to be a very positive move for the Red Sox as they march toward the playoffs this season, because Peavy's a veteran guy that's a very good pitcher with plenty of experience.
Well, the Red Sox have been rolling right along. They're still atop the American League East, and the offense has been clicking at all cylinders, especially in the home run department. We'll talk home runs when we come back to Fenway Park right after this. Home runs. It was not enough as Arizona took game 1 of the series, but the Red Sox offensively to begin the year manufacturing runs. Not so much here in the second half. It's been about the long ball for Boston. Home run power really since the All-Star break for Boston. Red Sox are tied for second in the American League with 18 home runs since the break, led by Mike Napoli and Stephen Drew with 3 each during that time frame. Red Sox are now homered in 7 consecutive games, totaling 12 home runs in that time, and the prior 4 games they had only 1 home run. Team record for games with consecutive home runs this season is 8. Well, the Red Sox and Arizona Diamondbacks getting ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series. We're back with the first pitch for Fenway right after this. Kia, McDonald's of Boston, Salem 5 Bank, and Pedroia's World. Toyota's official site for deals via Toyota.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Welcome back to Fenway Park on a beautiful night here from Fenway. Nothing but blue skies above right now. The lights are on, and the Red Sox trying to bounce back into the win column tonight after dropping last night's contest 7-6 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And, of course, the excitement of the Red Sox and Jake Peavy's first start in a Red Sox uniform tonight. With us tonight is Jamie Erdahl. Jamie?
Well, Don, our Geico quote of the day comes from Arizona's Cody Ross. The former Boston outfielder went 4 for 5 in his return to Fenway last night, and his 7th inning solo home run was the margin of victory for the Diamondbacks and probably icing on the cake for Ross. But after the game, he did say, obviously, I want to come in here and play and perform well. Anytime you play against one of your old teams, you want to do that, but I have no hard feelings toward anybody in this organization.
Well, he had a good night last night, a terrific night last night with 4 hits in the game. And I guess, Jerry, is certainly when you do play your old organization, especially where he kind of viewed it as if they didn't want him back here, that he certainly has a little extra going.
Oh, anytime you go to another ball club and you play your ex-team for the first time, or actually the first series, like he's doing right now, there's a little extra motivation. It's whether you've been traded, whether you leave as a free agent, you all feel the same way when you come back to play against them. And it is a very strange feeling to play against some guys that you were with last year that you got to know very well. And Cody Ross had himself one heck of a night last night.
Well, certainly he has performed very well here at Fenway Park in his time with the Red Sox, and this is a place that he is very comfortable in. And hopefully Jake Peavy can make him uncomfortable tonight as the Red Sox try to bounce back in Game 2 of the series. Always exciting after you have made a trade deadline deal and your first start coming up here in a Red Sox uniform. And tonight is that night for Jake Peavy. As of course spending his season with the Chicago White Sox, he will lead the Red Sox out onto the field tonight. As the Sox take the field, let's check out the Arizona batting order for tonight's game. Gerardo Parra leading it off in center field with Aaron Hill at second base. Paul Goldschmidt is at first base with Eric Chavez, the DH, batting fourth. Martin Prado at third base with Cody Ross in right field batting sixth. Jason Kubel in left field bat seventh. Will Nieves doing the catching again tonight. And Cliff Pennington, the former Oakland A's, at shortstop. He bats ninth. Jason Kubel at .299 average against Boston in his career. Let's take a look at the season numbers for Jake Peavy. Of course, season spent as a member of the White Sox. Tonight is his 14th start of the year. He's 8-4 with a 4.28 earned run average, 76 strikeouts to 17 walks, and opponents hitting at .244 against Jake Peavy.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on NESN by Southwest Airlines. They are 8th in the league with 59 errors on the season. Brandon Snyder will be at third base. Stephen Drew, the shortstop. Gunter Pedroia at second. And Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Johnny Gomes, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Shane Victorino. And Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Peavy.
Eric Cooper has the plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes with Paul Schreiber at first base, Chad Fairchild at second, and the crew chief, Jeff Kellogg, is at third base. Tonight's game is available in Spanish by pushing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
A comfortable night here at Fenway Park. Blue skies above, light breeze. It's 75 degrees. Perfect as we start tonight. Breeze out to center at 13 miles per hour, and the forecast is partly cloudy for the remainder of the evening. A big crowd on hand here at Fenway Park as Gerardo Parra leads it off here. Jake Peavy's career in a Red Sox uniform. Ready to go with his first pitch. And a swing and a foul tip for strike one.
Now from Peavy, you'll see the fastball, the slider, the changeup, sometimes two different fastballs, the cross seam and the sinking fastball.
There's a fly ball to center field. Jacoby Ellsbury has it sized up. One down. So Parra is retired, and that brings up Aaron Hill. Jake Peavy 13 and 12 with a 4.66 earned run average in 29 career starts against the Diamondbacks. Of course, that was when he was a member of the San Diego Padres for the most part. Making his first start against Arizona since 09 as the pitch is in there, or actually just missing off the outside edge for ball one. Peavy acquired the day before the trade deadline on the 30th of July. And that's a strike, 1-1. Here are the numbers. 4.66 ERA in his career against Arizona. Goes around, and Hill is down 1-2.
That's the slider there from Peavy. It's a hard one, 87 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss. Jake Peavy's got his first strikeout in the Red Sox uniform. 2 down.
Well, stays outside against Aaron Hill, both with the slider and then the follow-up pitch, the fastball for the strikeout. 92 on the fastball that time from Peavy to pick up the strikeout.
Two down here in the top half of the first inning. Paul Goldschmidt, the batter. First baseman having a very good year. All-star. 25 home runs, 88 runs batted in, and the average at 301. And the last start for Peavy in a White Sox uniform. Defeated the Tigers 7-4 July 25th at U.S. Cellular Field. Grooves the strike in there. 4 runs and 3 home runs in his last outing. I think he's the type of guy that could come to the big stage of Boston and really thrive in this setting. A veteran who, gets it, realizes you're in a pennant chase here, and I think he can bring his game to a whole new level. As he misses outside, and he's the type of guy that would appear to fit in with this clubhouse particularly well.
Well, that's exactly what John Farrell was talking about. They've got a veteran guy that's had success, that's not afraid to pitch in a market like Boston, and is a very good guy in the clubhouse. So they got the whole combination.
A 2-out walk here to Goldschmidt. First base runner of the night for the Diamondbacks. And Eric Chavez coming up. A long-time Oakland A who has bounced around in the last couple of years. It's amazing how many former Oakland A's find their way to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Chavez having a good season, hitting at 305 coming into tonight's game. And Homer's 37 runs driven in to go along with the 305 batting average.
And right now he's on a 4-game hitting streak. In his career, he is 1 for 6 against Peavy.
Runner goes, a pitch up and in. The throw from Saltalamacchia is going to be in time. They got him. Goldschmidt gunned down by Salty. Ends the top of the first. Red Sox coming up. Back at Fenway, the Diamondbacks don't score in the top of the first inning. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first, and the Sox lineup is brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off in center field. Shane Victorino in right field with Dustin Pedroia at second base. David Ortiz at DH. Mike Napoli at first base with Johnny Gomes in left field. Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching, just threw out a base runner. Stephen Drew at shortstop bats eighth, and Brandon Snyder is at third base. He bats ninth. For the Diamondbacks on the mound is Patrick Corbin. His numbers are brought to you by Nissan. His 22nd start of the year, 12-2 with a 2.24 earned run average. He's got 123 strikeouts to 36 walks, and opponents have only mustered a 205 batting average against him. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off and taking strike one. Ellsbury up over 300. 303 with 5 homers and 35 runs batted in. Riding an 8-game hitting streak coming into tonight's game. .324 during the streak. Couple doubles, a triple, a home run. And he strikes out. Pitch down and away. Ellsbury down by way of the K for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Let's take a look at Arizona's defense. They are second in the National League with 51 errors on the season. Martin Prado at third base. Cliff Pennington, the shortstop. Aaron Hill at second. Paul Goldschmidt, the first baseman. Left to right, Jason Kubel. Gerardo Parra in center field. And Cody Ross, the right fielder. Will Nieves doing the catching for Corbin.
One down here in the bottom of the first inning, and it takes us to Shane Victorino. Victorino at 282, 6 homers and 31 runs driven in. One for 5 in last night's game, had a double. Chops this to third. Prado on the backhand, throws him out, 2 down. Well, with 50 games to go in the Red Sox season, you can still import the schedule into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile device and be reminded about opponents and start times each game day. Go to NESN.com/schedule to import it now. Two down here in the bottom of the first inning, and here is Dustin Pedroia.
Corbin out with that blazing fastball at 95 miles an hour against Pedroia. The only batter that's faced him before in the Red Sox lineup is Victorino.
So a grounded foul off the facing of the Diamondbacks dugout, third base way. Corbin acquired on July 25th of 2010 with Joe Saunders at the time. Part of the deal for Dan Herron going to the Angels. Corbin coming from the Angels to the Diamondbacks. This one is fouled off. Corbin originally had been selected by the Angels in the second round in 2009. First career start against Boston. Pedroia lays off and takes ball 1. He comes in at 12-2. Arizona as a team are 18-3 when he starts games. Foul back, and it's 1-2.
Good live fastball, as we mentioned, 94, 95 miles an hour. The slider, the changeup.
Pedroia pops it up foul, backing out of play again, and this at bat will extend to a 7th pitch. .224 earned run average for Corbin coming in, and he's third among all starting pitchers. Clayton Kershaw 1.87, Matt Harvey at 2.21. Pedroia did not go. And it evens at 2-2.
Good job there for Pedroia holding up on that slider from Corbin. The body's gone, but the bat stays back.
Rolled over foul, and it hangs at 2-2. Pedroia turning in a pretty good at bat here against Corbin. David Ortiz on deck as Boston bats here in the first inning. Slowly chopped towards short. Pennington charging. His throw will be just in time. Very, very close. A bang-bang play. Pedroia thought he beat it out, but Pennington gets him to end the inning. Done with one without a score. Top half of the second inning. Eric Chavez, who's batting the last inning when Paul Goldschmidt, who's thrown out at second base, leads it off here in the top of the second inning. Chavez, Prado, and Ross to bat here in the second. There's a pop-up shift was on, and coming in is Snyder to make the catch in on the grass. First down to the second inning as we check in with Jamie Erdahl.
Well, Don, I know you're excited for this one. It's our AT&T poll question, and it's the finalists for the best baseball movies. We've used the fan votes over the past two nights to compile the four winners from the two last nights. Fans text 536-536 to select from this alphabetical list of finalists. A for Fever Pitch, B for Field of Dreams, C for Major League, or D for The Sandlot. We'll track the results all night, and the winner will be revealed later tonight on NESN Sports Today after Red Sox postgame.
Well, Jamie, clearly A is a terrific choice. And right out of the gate, 32%.
And of course, Don he was in that movie, so that's why
my first film.
That's why he feels that Fever Pitch is going to win this thing, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than what we're seeing right now. It was an interesting day here at the ballpark. If the Red Sox get a big lead tonight, hopefully we can show it to you, but Extra was here interviewing Don because of some of his movies. It was
Mario Lopez. I really didn't expect that. I was very surprised. Martin Prado bats here with one out in the inning, and that'll miss outside. Prado, the third baseman for the Diamondbacks, hitting at 267, 9 homers and 43 runs batted in. Prado, the former Atlanta Brave. Broke into the big leagues with the Braves in 2006. Last year hit at .301 in Atlanta in his final season with the Braves. 10 homers and 70 runs driven in. Most home runs he's had in any season was 15 with the Braves in 2010. Outside for ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Jake Peavy of his outing. Hold on a second. Prado thought he had ball 4, but apparently,
yeah,
it's the wrong count.
Exactly, and he's got to put all that stuff back on now.
Scoreboard, I think, had it at 3-1.
As you can see there, only 4 pitches, and there was the 5th. So it's a 3-2 count right now.
That's ball 4. And down to first base will go Prado now and get his stuff off. So the second walk given up by Peavy of the night. One out, one on, and Cody Ross, the batter. What a terrific night he had in his return to Boston last night. Overall at .280, 7 homers and 35 runs batted in. 4 for 5 in last night's game. 2 doubles, a home run, 3 runs batted in. Last 19 games, he's hit at .383. Signed by Arizona as a free agent in December. It's a fly ball to center field. Playable for Jacoby Ellsbury, who's now into right center for the second out of the inning. Ever find yourself guessing what you think is going to happen during every at bat? Well, there's an app for that. MLB Preplay is the official prediction game of Major League Baseball. It's free to download on iOS and Android. Download now at NESN.com/preplay and play along during every Red Sox game. Martin Prado at first base, 2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Jason Kubel. He'll take the breaking ball for strike 1. Kubel hitting at .118 in the last 18 games. But had a couple of hits last night, going 2 for 5 with an RBI. It's part of the 7-6 Diamondbacks win last night.
See Peavy talking to himself on the mound. He's a very emotional guy when he's out there pitching. He's not happy at all about the walk to Prado.
And John Farrell said the other day he will talk to himself, and we're seeing that right out of the gate here. In there for strike 2, and it's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strikes out Kubel. Second strikeout for Peavy. David Ortiz will lead it off when we come back to Fenway. By Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. Follow the Hood Blimp on Facebook and Twitter at Hood Blimp.
Now Jake Peavy picking up his second strikeout of the night, gets Kubel to end the second inning on a breaking ball. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks so far for Peavy. Breaking ball down and out of the strike zone. That whiff was brought to you by Head and Shoulders.
Well, Jake Peavy has 2 innings under his belt here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Red Sox offense coming up. David Ortiz, Mike Napoli, and Johnny Gomes. Ortiz at .323, 21 home runs, 71 runs batted in. David 1 for 4 in last night's game. Comes in with a 6-game hitting streak. And takes a strike over the outside corner from Corbin.
Big shift put on by the Diamondbacks. Aaron Hill way out in the right field grass.
David, an all-star for the 4th straight year, 9th time in his career. Outside, 3-1. Corbin had a 1-2-3 first inning on 14 pitches. Strikeout, 2 groundouts. Ortiz through the shift into right field, a base hit. Red Sox have their first base runner of the night.
David got himself back in a fastball count with the Corbin falling behind him. He has to come with the, well, didn't have to, but he does come with the fastball on the 3-1 count, and Ortiz pulls it for the base hit right through the shift. Certainly the pitch that Ortiz was looking for, 3-1.
Well, now the 7-gamer hitting at .370 during the streak. David at first base, nobody out. Mike Napoli, the batter. .260 average, 14 homers and 64 runs batted in. Napoli in last night's game 2 for 3. He's also hit by a pitch in last night's game. And 3 for 16 on the current homestand. Inside for ball 2. He's allowed 1 earned run or less in the last 4 starts as Patrick Corbin. This one will get away. David will head for second base. Ortiz gets there standing as it gets off Wilmy Evis.
Wild pitch this time. Looked like it might have been a changeup that goes down in the dirt and deflects off the glove of Nieves. Ortiz able to move in the scoring position with nobody out.
Wild pitch charged to Corbin. Foul back and out of play. Full count now for Napoli. Johnny Gomes waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the last half of the second inning. Corbin this season on the road has gone 4-1 with a 3.28 earned run average in 9 road starts on the year. His 25th pitch. And Napoli will take ball 4. First walk given up by Corbin. Well, the Sox involved in interleague play. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Coors Light focuses on the senior circuit. Chris Johnson has tied a Braves franchise record with his 8th straight multi-hit game last night. First Brave to do so since Hank Aaron back in 1959. And tonight the Cardinals will go for 13-plus runs scored in a 3rd straight road game. The last National League team to do that was the Pirates in 1928. First 2 have reached here against Patrick Corbin in the 2nd inning. Ortiz at 2nd, Napoli at 1st, and Johnny Gomes coming up. Gomes had last night off. Overall 236, 8 homers, and 27 runs batted in. He drove in the game-tying run in the 9th inning on Thursday night against Seattle. Sits safely in 15 of his last 20 games.
That's the kind of game, Don, when you got a guy like Corbin out there who's been pitching the way he has pitched all season long. You get opportunities like this. You have to take advantage of them. Couple of base runners, nobody out.
On the corner for strike 1. Gomes has been good in this spot, hitting at .333 with runners in scoring position. Overall hitting at .305 in his last 29 games. Strike over the inside corner. Gomes didn't think so.
Change up that time, and Gomes thought it was too low. Just touching the bottom of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss, and Gomes strikes out. That is the 2nd strikeout for Patrick Corbin. First out of the 2nd inning.
First strikeout came in a breaking ball. This time it's the changeup down and in to Gomes. Almost the identical pitch he took on the previous one.
So 2 on, 1 away, and Jared Saltalamacchia coming up. Salty at 263, 9 home runs and 41 runs driven in. Offensively, he's already contributed tonight. He threw out Paul Goldschmidt trying to steal second base in the 1st inning. In there for strike 1.
Right now, that low pitch going as a strike for Cooper behind home plate.
5-game hitting streak for Saltalamacchia coming in. One hopper to second that explodes on Hill. He flips to second to get nobody. Could have been a double play, but unable to handle the toss was Cliff Pennington after Hill made a pretty good play on a ball that kind of exploded on him, and the Red Sox have him loaded now.
Yeah, Hill made a very nice play on this, but the drop at second base by Cliff Pennington. Underhand flip, it's off to the left a little bit, but one that they should have been handled for at least a force out at second. Hill did a good job knocking that ball down and getting that shuffle throw to second base. No catch by Pennington. Napoli safe.
They have not ruled on the play yet. Bases are loaded now for the Red Sox. 1 out for Stephen Drew. Drew takes strike 1.
I would think it would go as an error on the shortstop. That's just from what I saw on the replay.
They have gone in another direction. Aaron Hill getting the error at second base. Saltalamacchia reaching on a fielder's choice, and the error charge to Hill. I didn't think it was a bad toss. Do you?
It didn't seem that bad. It was certainly to the glove side of Pennington, but it looked like one he could have handled for the force out.
Drew with a swing and a miss, strikes out. Big strikeout for Corbin. It's out number 2 of the inning, his 3rd K of the night.
Yeah, Corbin staying with the breaking ball that time against Drew with the bases loaded. Slided down and away once he quickly got ahead.
Bases filled with Red Sox, 2 down here in the 2nd inning. And here's Brandon Snyder. 235, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. He came into the game last night at first base for the Red Sox defensively. And he lines one to right field. Cody Ross will get there on the running catch. Good bid by Snyder. Red Sox leave them loaded. We're scoreless through 2. Against cancer at your local Dunkin' Donuts. Stop into participating Dunkin' restaurants through tomorrow. Donate $1 and you'll receive a cup cutout display your name in store. The Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin-Robbins Community Foundation and the Jimmy Fund thank you for your support. Will Nieves leading it off here for the Diamondbacks in the top half of the 3rd inning. Nieves, Pennington, and Hara scheduled to bat 8, 9, and 1. Swing and a miss. Nieves at 356, no homers and 14 runs batted in. Well, Jake Peavy, born in Mobile, Alabama. Made his major league debut June of 2002 at the age of 21 as a member of the San Diego Padres. Won the National League Cy Young Award during his 2007 season after winning the pitching Triple Crown that year. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a foul tip that glances off Saltalamacchia.
And obviously the first time that Peavy and Saltalamacchia have worked together, so you may see quite a bit of shaking off tonight. This foul tip just eludes the webbing of the glove of Saltalamacchia.
1-2 pitch is lined into right field. Will Nieves with a solid single to right. That's the first hit off Jake Peavy in the game. Send it down to Jamie.
Well, despite tonight being Jake Peavy's debut as a member of the Boston Red Sox, we have proof that he's already pretty familiar with Fenway Park. Last July, he pitched here for the first time with the White Sox. He made his way out to the Green Monster with his two oldest sons, Jacob and Wyatt, who you can see here in this picture. He also signed the inside of the Green Monster, and there are hundreds of signatures out there. We tried to find his name, but here's hoping that Peavy has a long career here in Boston so we can find his signature and show you at some point.
Well, he appears to be very happy to be part of this pennant race, as this one is sent foul off to the left. The White Sox this season really struggling through the year. Chicago last in the American League Central. They're 22 games out, so it has not been a lot of fun to be in Chicago with the White Sox this season. The Pennington, former Oakland A, at 241 with a home run, 17 runs batted in. All-Star 3 times. PV 05, 07, and 2012. Mentioned the Cy Young in 2007. Back in 04, he led the National League in earned run average. Also in 07. And has a Gold Glove on his resume. This in the air to deep right field, down the line towards the pole, and a foul ball.
That's a changeup that time from Peavy, and Pennington out in front of it. Looking for a second home run of the season, but it goes foul. There's the off-speed pitch, and Pennington right down that right field line, but in foul territory.
And a swing and a miss. Pennington couldn't hold up, and he strikes out. Third K for Jake Peavy.
Peavy going to the breaking ball to the inside corner. The pitch zone on NESN is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance. Great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
Well, Nieves at first base, one down in the inning, and Gerardo Parra. It's his second at bat tonight against Jake Peavy. Flied out to center field in the first inning. Second time through now for Peavy. So this is in the dirt for ball one. Arizona coming in 3.5 games back at the Dodgers in the National League West. Started this road trip in Tampa Bay, then had a makeup game in Texas before coming here to Boston. So they've been well traveled on this trip. Popped up, foul ground, and Snyder dancing down the line to make the catch and foul ground. Out number 2. Gulf Oil is proud to be the official electricity supplier of the Boston Red Sox. Two down, Will Nieves at first base, and Aaron Hill, former Blue Jays first-round draft choice and former Toronto Blue Jay, struck out his first time up. One of 3 Ks now for Jake Peavy in his outing. On the outside corner.
See Peavy yelling at himself again. He wanted to go inside with that fastball, and that fastball away.
Tampa Bay taking on the San Francisco Giants again tonight at the Trop in St. Pete. We're in the third inning without a score tonight between the Rays and Giants. Tim Lincecum going against David Price in that action tonight as that pitch is in there for strike two. Lincecum now 5-11 on the year.
Slider again here from Peavy, just barely picking up the outside part of the plate. Maybe a little bit off, but he gets the call.
Swing and a miss, and striking out is Aaron Hill. Second time he's down by way of the K. Peavy's fired up. Three innings for Jake Peavy so far as we are scoreless heading to the bottom of the third inning. Red Sox offense coming up top of the order. Jacoby Ellsbury, Shane Victorino, and Dustin Pedroia at bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Good look from straightaway center field. Ellsbury struck out swinging in the first inning. One of three strikeouts for Patrick Corbin in this game. There is strike one. Corbin so far tonight, first pitch strikes to 7 of 10 batters. Leads the majors in that category, 71%. First pitch strikes for Patrick Corbin. Really in on the hands that time, and a broken bat for Ellsbury. And right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket for great seats at the lowest prices, either for a game or for all of this summer's hottest concerts. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Last half of the third inning, Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off. Red Sox have one hit against Corbin. And the bases loaded with one out in the second, could not score against Corbin. And Ellsbury strikes out for the second time tonight. That time lunging at a pitch down and away.
That's nasty. That's the second time he has struck him out in that slider, and it's a very good one. He gets ahead of those left-handed hitters. He expands that strike zone with that breaking ball. Got him on a slider back in the first inning, a slider again here in the third.
One down, Shane Victorino, the batter. Shane grounded out to third base in the first inning. Pretty sunset tonight in Boston as Red Sox and Diamondbacks play game 2 of the series, and that just missed. They just left it there for an extra second, but Cooper did not call it a strike. He has been calling a lot of low strikes, but not this time.
Yeah, so far that pitch has been called a strike by Cooper, but not that time against Victorino.
Line to left, and that's going to get in. Back to the track and the wall. Victorino headed for second base. Now he's going to throw the brakes on, and good thing he did. He had the play in front of him, realized he was not going to make it, and comes up with a one-out single.
Pretty good job out there by Kubel in left field to get that ball in. It was a changeup to Victorino that he hits very hard down that left field line, and when it left the bat, it looked like 2 bases. But the combination of how hard it was hit by Victorino and a good job by Kubel to get to it is going to hold Victorino to the single. Right there, puts the brakes on, knows he can't get to second base.
1 out, 1 on for Dustin Pedroia. Dustin grounded out to the shortstop Cliff Pennington in the first inning. Second year for Corbin in the majors. Last year the Diamondbacks in his first season. 22 appearances, 17 starts, was 6-8 last year with a 4.54 earned run average. Logged 107 innings. Much different this season. Two and one now to Pedroia. Adams looks like he has a pretty good time there in behind the dish.
Very active catcher. We mentioned that last night.
Toss to first, and back is Victorino. His lead was not terribly large. Shane 14 out of 17 as he gains his lead now. Outside to Pedroia, 3-1. So a couple of lengthy at-bats tonight against Corbin.
Well, that would be the goal for the Red Sox. Guy as good as this, if they possibly can, drive that pitch count up as high as you can early in the game.
Ground ball deep in the hole at shortstop. Pennington will go to second, and it's not going to be in time. Had to go too far to his right, and to the third base side is short. Victorino gets in, and Pedroia reaches at first.
Yeah, that's really the only option that Pennington had. There's no way he gets Pedroia at first base. He tries for the force at second, but Victorino also has very good speed, and he beats him with no problem.
One out runners at first and second, and David Ortiz, the batter, is single to right field in his second inning. 1 for 1 tonight as Corbin has now given up 3 hits. Ortiz fouls it off. Well, this year the Red Sox will celebrate the 60th anniversary of their partnership with the Jimmy Fund. We salute sponsors like H.B. Hood, who help make the Jimmy Fund a major beneficiary of the Red Sox Foundation. Corbin has thrown a first pitch strike to each of the last 7 batters that he has faced in this game. Well, the Red Sox have 2 on with 1 out. And Ortiz rolls it over foul. 0-2.
That's back-to-back sliders to David Ortiz with that man in scoring position. And quickly ahead 0-2.
So far in this game, we've seen how tough he can be on lefties.
Yeah, he's nasty. I mean, he's got a good live fastball, a very sharp breaking slider, changeup. Well, the numbers bear that out.
Outside, Ortiz not chasing that, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. He's been able to bear down with runners in scoring position this season as well. Opponents hitting at 182 with runners in scoring position against Patrick Corbin. Ortiz strikes out. He goes around, can't stop the swing, and he is out number 2 of the inning. It's 5 strikeouts now for Corbin.
Well, he does the same thing to Ortiz that he did to Ellsbury with 2 strikes. He goes away outside part of the plate, even off the plate with the slider, and Ortiz cannot control the head of the bat. That is a very difficult pitch for a left-hander to hit, to even make contact on.
The Red Sox 0 for 5 in this game with runners in scoring position, and with 2 outs, another opportunity for Mike Napoli. Mike walked in the second inning. The only free pass served up tonight by Corbin to this point. On the ground, foul outside the bag at third.
I think that's the first curveball that Corbin has thrown in the ball game tonight, and Napoli out in front of it, pulling it foul.
Inside for ball 1. Ellsbury struck out to begin the inning. Victorino with a single to left. Pedroia with the infield hit to short. David Ortiz strikes out. 2 outs, 2 on. Napoli will take the strike over the inside corner. a swing and a miss. Napoli thought it hit the ground, and it did. Pointed right back to home plate umpire Cooper right away to make sure. 1-2.
Foul tip off the bat of Napoli here. Just getting a piece of that.
The 1-2 pitch. Popped up in the infield. Shortstop Pennington just to the outfield grass puts it away. And again, Corbin out of the jam. The Red Sox have stranded 5 in the last 2 innings. You always put others first. Would it be nice if your bank did the same thing? The products that make life easier and a commitment to those helping in need. Here, your First Eastern Bank. Scoreless as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. Paul Goldschmidt will lead it off. Eric Chavez and Martin Prado. 3, 4, and 5 coming up here for the Diamondbacks in the 4th inning. Jake Peavy gave up a leadoff single in the 3rd inning, but then retired the next 3 in order on 2 strikeouts. 43 pitches through the first 3 innings in his Red Sox debut. And a foul tip for Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt walked in the 1st inning and was thrown out by Saltalamacchia, caught stealing 2-6 to end the 1st inning. Fouled off to the right. Fly ball out to deep right center field. Back goes Ellsbury towards the pen, and that ball is gone up over the bullpen. The end of the bleachers for Paul Goldschmidt, his 26th home run of the year. And the Diamondbacks jump on top 1-0.
Well, he showed his power here last night, and he shows it again tonight. See number 26 of the season, RBI number 89. Fastball up in the strike zone and away a little bit, and Goldschmidt to the opposite field for the home run. Up over the Red Sox bullpen.
Now Chavez fouls it back. The 0-2 pitch is on the ground to the backhand. Is Napoli. He'll flip to Peavy, covering at first base for the first out of the inning. Set it down to Jamie Erdahl.
Well, Don, I'm up here outside of Suite K3, donated tonight by the Jimmy Fund with Raekwon Fraziot, a 17-year-old from Lynn, Mass. He's here as a guest of the Jimmy Fund. Raekwon, what brought you here tonight?
You know, it's just me being diagnosed with cancer, you know, which is called rhabdomyosarcoma. It's a cancer with soft tissue. Yep.
And you threw out the first pitch here tonight. We watched it. You were a little bit upset with how it went. Tell us about the experience. Was it special, and why'd you put your head in your hands afterwards?
You know, it's a great feeling, but, you know, when you have, like, all these people looking at you, it's a lot of pressure, so you be like, oh, I'm going to mess up, you know, but... Yeah, I messed up big time, but it's all good, though.
It is all good.
I dig, yeah.
It's a special night at Fenway to do something like that, but it seems like you can handle the pressure, though. You were telling me about one of your very special hobbies that you do.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not afraid of pressure, you know? Like, if I'm in front of somebody, it's like, I'm not going to be afraid, you know? I have, like, a really, you know, I have, like, a lot of confidence in myself, you know? Yeah.
It's a special thing, and you haven't made a college decision yet. You're heading into your senior year of high school. What's a hobby that you keep busy with as a senior in high school?
It's me, you know, doing like a lot of music, you know, shows like weddings, birthday parties. And, you know, like I'm thinking about going to school for music or either going to school for law, you know. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, thanks for being a special guest of the Jimmy Fund here tonight and throwing out the first pitch at Fenway.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Well, we want to extend a huge thanks to a longtime friend of the Red Sox and supporter of the Jimmy Fund, Art Kelly, who generously bought one suite per homestand for the Jimmy Fund as part of the ongoing celebration of the 60th anniversary of the Red Sox and the Jimmy Fund's relationship.
All right, Jamie, very nice. A nice gesture. And we wish him the best. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Martin Prado batting here with 1 out will lift it in the air to right field down the line. Victorino over and under to make the catch for the second out here at the top of the 4th inning. So 2 outs after the leadoff home run by Paul Goldschmidt. And it'll bring up Cody Ross. Ross flied out to center field his first time up. Tampa Bay and San Francisco tied 1-1. They're in the 3rd inning at the Trop. Once again against Price in that game from the Trop. Keep an eye on that. Of course, the Red Sox just a game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays atop the American League East. And right now down 1-0 thanks to the home run by Paul Goldschmidt. Ross will pop it up, and racing over is Napoli, but he won't have a play. Well, more Sox baseball comes your way on NESN tomorrow night after we head to Houston when the Pawtucket Red Sox head to Buffalo to take on the Bisons. Catch atop the pitching matchup is Anthony Renato as he makes his Paw Sox debut. It's great AAA action between the Paw Sox and Buffalo tomorrow night live at 6 p.m. on NESN. Fly ball to shallow right. Pedroia out. Victorino in. And Victorino calls off Pedroia to make the catch that ends the inning. Paul Goldschmidt goes deep for a home run. Gives the Diamondbacks a 1-0 lead. Back at Fenway, 1-0. Arizona Diamondbacks on top of the Red Sox thanks to the home run by Paul Goldschmidt. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and leading it off is Johnny Gomes. He rips one down the line that is just foul. Very close and hugged the line all the way down. It just kicked to the left.
And Martin Prado playing very close to that line down there at third base, and that ball just barely in foul territory. Get a good look from this view right here. Hit that grass and kicked in the foul territory just before it got to the bag.
The 1-2 Gomes. And he drives this one to center field. Parra will have plenty of room as he makes the catch shy of the track for the first out of the 4th inning. Message coverage of Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by Eastern Bank. You put your family first, job first, even your team first. Isn't it time someone put you first? Eastern Bank does just that with products like Eastern Free Checking. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank. 1-0 Arizona lead. One out here in the 4th inning for Jared Saltalamacchia. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. It's a fly ball to right field. Cody Ross makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. 2 fly ball outs here for the first 2 outs of the 4th inning. Let's check out some poll results so far here tonight on our What is Your Favorite Baseball Movie playoff from the last 2 nights. This is the final. And right now The Sandlot has jumped out on top. Fever Pitch second. A lot of time left, though, Jerry. A lot of time left.
Yes, there is, but The Sandlot taking a pretty comfortable lead right at this point.
First pitch strikes to the first 11 batters. The last 11 batters, I should say, for Patrick Corbin. And if Drew, the 0-1 pitch is going to miss. Nothing else. Really should check out Fever Pitch. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely get it.
Oh, God.
One to Drew is outside for ball 2. Did you ever see it?
No.
You never did you?
I don't watch movies. I don't have like I got ADD. I don't you know, I got to like flip the dial. I have trouble sitting in a movie theater for
it must
like
be
2
brutal.
hours.
Absolutely brutal to watch television with you, because I bet you that you fly from one thing to another with the remote.
And my span's about an hour long. That's it.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
You know, unless I'm watching a concert or something like that,
right.
That's a little bit different. But I'm not a movie goer. I just don't.
Can't sit there.
I have problems. Yeah.
I'll get you a DVD. I happen to have a DVD.
Yeah, I figured you had a box full of them at home. It's about time you'd give me one.
I will give you one if you promise you'll watch it.
I'll watch your part of it. Just tell me where your part is.
I'm towards the end.
A little bit towards the end?
Yeah, there's
okay.
2 scenes, and it's towards the end. It's actually when Drew Barrymore jumps on the field towards the end of the game.
Okay.
So we can just go to that part. He sees 2 right center field, and in for a base hit. Steven Drew struck out in the 2nd, and he has a 2-out single here in the 4th inning. That's the Red Sox 4th hit.
Now Drew has been hot, and this time he stays away from the slider. He gets a fastball from Corbin, and he's able to pull it for the base hit. So the Red Sox stay away from the 1-2-3 inning with the base hit by Steven Drew.
Red Sox have left 5 men on base in the last 2 innings. Chance here for Brandon Snyder, lined out to right in the 2nd. Only 1 base runner has stolen against Patrick Corbin this season. And only 4 have attempted to steal against him. And strike 1 to Snyder. swing and a miss. 0-2. Gerardo Parra, center fielder, over towards right center for Snyder to go the other way. And a swing and a miss and a pitch down and in, and he strikes out. That'll end the inning. That's 6 Ks for Corbin. 4 innings done, 1-0 Arizona. On FW Web for expertise, selection, and solutions. Visit FWWeb.com for more about the proud sponsor of the Boston Red Sox. 1-0 Arizona on top of Boston as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Home run by Paul Goldschmidt. Pretty sky tonight in Boston. Jake Peavy into his 5th inning here tonight. He will face the bottom third of the Arizona Diamondbacks order. Jason Kubel, Will Nieves, and Cliff Pennington to bat in the inning. 7, 8, and 9. Foul back and out of play. First pitch strikes to 9 of 16 from Jake Peavy tonight. Surrendered only 2 hits through the first 4 innings. Unfortunately, one of them went out of the yard. On the ground, foul. Red Sox are in the shift. No 2-pitch tap foul. Peavy going back and forth here with Saltalamacchia. They agree on a pitch, and it's a good one. As Kubel strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. 5 strikeouts for Peavy.
That's the 2nd time he's got Kubel tonight on the curveball. Threw him, I think, 3 straight curveballs in this particular at bat, and picks up the strikeout. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pit Zone.
One down in the 5th inning. Will Nieves coming up. It had to be a whirlwind for Jake Peavy, really. You know, you head into that trade deadline and you read about all the places you could be going, and there were several at one point that appeared lined up for his services. On the ground as Drew to his left, and his throw is in time. 2 down. That's got to be very unsettling, I would think, Jerry. You know where you're going.
You know, because you know there's a bunch of scouts there watching you pitch, and you know that your team is in last place, and you're a commodity that a lot of people want, and you just don't know who it's going to be. And you know for sure you're going somewhere, but you just don't know where and what club it's going to be. So PB very happy with the results of coming to the Boston Red Sox.
And it is not just a half-season rental, which is what happens sometimes. He is under control for next year, and there is an option for the following year. Pennington shows bunt and takes strike 1. Pennington struck out in the 3rd inning, 1 of 5 Ks for PB tonight. Well, regardless of what he does tonight, I really think it was a very good move. And I think the amazing part about it for Ben Cherington, the Red Sox, you really didn't need to give up any of your blue chip prospects to get him, which was very, very big.
Well, there's a lot of Iglesias fans out there. There's no question about that. And I don't blame those folks for being a little bit upset. But the fact is the Red Sox are in a position where they are fairly deep at shortstop throughout the organization.
And I'm also of the opinion if you have a chance to win it all, you got to try it.
Yeah.
And if you can add depth to your rotation, especially not knowing about Clay Buchholz and when he's going to be able to help you, I feel like you got to do this.
I totally agree. I agree with you 100%.
2-2 is going to miss. Framed by Saltalamacchia. PB thought he had strike 3. Sixth strikeout for Peavy. Second time he's got Pennington. It's 1-0 Arizona. On top of Boston as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Thanks for all you guys do as we head to the home half of the 5th with Arizona getting a home run from their first baseman Paul Goldschmidt in the 4th inning. Difference in this game. Jacoby Ellsbury leading off an inning for the 3rd time in tonight's game. And this time grounds one to second base. Aaron Hill throws him out for the first out of the inning. With more than 23 Grammy Awards and 67 million albums sold, music icons Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake will bring their Legends of the Summer Stadium tour to Fenway Park August 10th and 11th. A limited number of additional premium seats have just been added to these two great shows. Tickets for these seats are on sale now at the Orpheum Theater box office, livenation.com, or by calling 800-514-3849.
That sounds a little bit like your resume.
One out here in the fifth. Victorino spins out of the way of a pitch that is too high. Shane is grounded out to third base and single. And we'll be going on tour to Houston, Kansas City, and Toronto.
Yes.
And then we come home very, very briefly to play the Yankees, and then we are back out again to San Francisco and LA.
Only a 3-game series against the Yankees and back on the road again for the Red Sox, so a lot of road games coming up for Boston.
To left field, does it have enough? It does. Gone into the first row. And a line drive home run for Shane Victorino, just enough. And the Red Sox tie the game at 1.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Don, that Victorino is the only guy that has faced Corbin prior to tonight. And he's got 2 hits in the game, a single and now a line drive home run. And it comes on the fastball. Victorino out in front of it. The line shot into the monster seats. So 2 home runs in the ball game.
The Sox have now hit 117 home runs this season. With it, Hess and Hess Express donate another $500 to the pediatric trauma program at Boston's Children's Hospital. Brings the season total of $58,500. Hess and Hess Express committed to helping the cause. 0-1 to Pedroia, and did he go? They're going to check. No, he did not, says Paul Schreiber. Ball and 2 strikes to Dustin Pedroia. He's gone twice to Pennington at short. One was a grounder that Pennington threw him out on. The other one an infield hit, as Pennington had to go deep in the hole to retrieve it. Now a liner to center. Hara coming in to make the catch for the second out. So we send it back down to Jamie Erdahl.
Well, Don, similar to how the Red Sox honor Boston Strong with their 617 jersey in their dugout, the Arizona Diamondbacks honor the 19 fallen firefighters that lost their lives from Prescott, Arizona, with the number 19 patch on the right arm of their sleeve. As I said, 19 firefighters lost their lives in the Yarnell fire that began in late June and ended in early July. And clearly the team is very affected by the people that lost their lives, that probably some were fans of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I noticed the jersey before, and it is very nice of the Diamondbacks as they have their own jersey. Of course, the Red Sox with Boston Strong all year long. And home and road. This is down to first. Goldschmidt will toss to Corbin for the out that ends the inning. Shane Victorino's home run has tied this game at 1 aside. Presented by DCU. Essence pregame coverage of the Sox begins an hour before every game. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, banking the DCU way. First game. I think there's a birthday in there, too.
That's a pretty good day. First Red Sox game and a birthday combined.
Gerardo Parra leading it off here for Arizona in the 6th inning. 0 for 2. He's fly to center and fouled out. He has 6 strikeouts. He has walked 2, given up 2 hits, and one of the hits a solo shot. Foul off to the left out of play, and it's 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Parra, be followed by Aaron Hill and Paul Goldschmidt in the inning. It's the top of the order here for the D-backs in the inning. Slipped out of Peavy's hand. Trying to figure out what pitch they want to go with here. They finally agree, but it takes too much time as Parra gets time.
Yeah, we kind of expected this. We mentioned it early in the ball game. Quite a bit of that going on tonight between Peavy and Saltalamacchia. First time working together.
And a swing and a miss. Breaking ball gets Parra. That is 7 strikeouts now for Peavy.
After all those signs, finally Peavy and Saltalamacchia decide on a curveball. And the curveball good enough to pick up the strikeout. Away from Parra. Amica Insurance is the proud sponsor of the Amica Pit Zone.
1 out in the inning. Aaron Hill has struck out twice tonight against Peavy. Peavy's old team, the Chicago White Sox, are taking on the Tigers tonight. They're in the 5th inning. Tigers have a 3-0 lead. The player that he was traded for, Jose Iglesias, has a home run, batting out of the 7 spot. Has had the chance to play the last couple of days. He's been playing at third base,
which is basically what he was doing here with the Red Sox.
Miguel Cabrera has been ailing a little bit, so he has not been playing at third. It has been Iglesias. 1-1. That is outside for ball 2. Well, for Peavy, as we take a look at the ace ticket pitching line, 5 1/3, 2 hits, a run, the home run by Paul Goldschmidt in the top of the 4th inning, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. He's now retired 7 Diamondbacks in a row. And this is out to left center field, in for a base hit. And there's Johnny Gomes, a 1-out single for Aaron Hill, who had struck out twice prior to that base hit. On tomorrow's all-new Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA, Jenny takes a look back at 1988's Morgan Magic. Ben Cherington also discusses the trade for Jake Peavy, and we look back at futures at Fenway. Catch all that and more on the Ultimate Red Sox show tomorrow at noon. 1 out in the 6th inning. Aaron Hill at first base, and Paul Goldschmidt, who homered, takes ball 1. Close pitch just away. For Goldschmidt, his 26th home run of the year, 89th RBI. That is after he walked back in the first inning. Down to right field. Victorino coming in on the liner to make the catch. Makes that grab middle of the cap high for the second out.
Ball hit very hard that time by Goldschmidt, but Victorino in the right spot. Charging the ball hard, making the catch on the line. As this ball slicing away from him just a little bit.
Two down, Aaron Hill at first base, and Eric Chavez the batter. He is 0 for 2. Popped out to Snyder at third base and grounded out to first base in the fourth inning. And then throw to first, and Hill back to the bag. His lead was pretty short. Strike one. Chavez last 2 years with the New York Yankees. Last year played 113 games with the Yankees. Smart foul back off to the left. And it was 16 home runs for New York last year, 37 runs batted in. After all those seasons in Oakland, broke into the big leagues in '98 with the A's, was a member of the A's until 2010. And then 2 seasons with New York, and now in Arizona. 1-2. And he's fouled back.
Now, he's really a guy that, you kind of thought because of injury his career would be over, and he's been able to extend it by a number of years.
A 6-time Gold Glove Award winner. His last one was 2006. One-two pitch. And it's fouled back. Still 1-2. Are you a leader of a group of 20 or more? If so, a Red Sox game at Fenway Park is the perfect place for your next outing. Call 617-226-6835 to talk to the group ticket representative to plan the perfect trip to Fenway. One-two pitch. Chavez pops it up. Long run here for Saltalamacchia and for Snyder, and Snyder almost overran it. It's actually Drew with the shift on her, almost overran it. Steven Drew over to make the grab. back at Fenway Park. Mike Napoli, Johnny Gomes, and Jared Saltalamacchia to bat in the inning. In a 1-1 game. Both teams trading solo home runs in tonight's game. Paul Goldschmidt in the 4th inning. Shane Victorino in the 5th. Napoli has walked and popped out to shortstop. And his 3rd look tonight at Patrick Corbin. Grounder foul, and Napoli is down 0-2. Up high for ball 1, 1-2. Fights it off foul down the right field line into the seats. It's been a pitcher's duel here tonight at Fenway Park between Patrick Corbin and first appearance in a Red Sox uniform for Jake Peavy. Outside 2-2. Johnny Gomes on deck. And Jared Saltalamacchia anticipated in the inning.
Now back-to-back change-ups from Corbin trying to get Napoli, both in about the same spot. 3 or 4 inches off the outside part of the plate.
A little bit high. Leadoff walk for Napoli. 2nd walk tonight allowed to Napoli. We'll stay with NESN following our Sox coverage for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. We'll bring you a new report from Patriots training camp as the birthday boy Tom Brady turns 36. Also have a complete recap of tonight's game here at Fenway, plus a whole lot more. All that and more comes your way with Gary Strikey and Leah Hextall tonight following our Red Sox coverage.
And welcome aboard to Gary.
Johnny Gomes 0 for 2 in the game. He was struck out, flied out to center. Goldschmidt holding on Napoli at first base. Gomes to center field. Parra is there, and he makes the catch. Napoli scampers back, and a throw to first base from Parra. Shows off pretty good arm to get it to first, but Napoli was back without a problem.
Second time that Gomes has hit the ball well to center field, but both times that Parra, once a fly ball, a pretty long fly ball, this time a line drive.
1 on, 1 out. Jared Saltalamacchia coming up 0 for 2 in the game. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning, flied out to right in the 4th inning. Eastern Mass Lexus dealers bringing the pitching line for Patrick Corbin. 5 1/3, 5 hits, a run. The home run by Shane Victorino in the 5th. It's 2-0. Youngsters here tonight. enjoying this game tonight, tied 1-1. Here's the 90th pitch for Corbin. And it's a broken back grounder to third base. Prado will go to second for one, on to first for two. Double play around the horn they go. That ends the sixth inning. We go to the seventh, tied at 1. Goes Ellsbury towards the pen, and that ball is gone. And the Diamondbacks jump on top 1-0. To left field, does it have enough? It does. Gone into the first row. Kind of a line drive home run for Shane Victorino. Just enough. Well, that is the score in this game, 1-1, as both teams with a solo home run. Paul Goldschmidt and Shane Victorino. Pitchers duel tonight from Fenway into the seventh, tied at 1. Martin Prado leads it off and takes strike one from Peavy.
Good ball game tonight from Fenway Park. Great pitching on both sides.
Prado walked in the second, flying out to right field in the fourth inning. Chopped up the middle, but ranging is Drew to his left. Throw is off the mark, but Napoli tags him on the way by.
Yeah, that throw from Drew pulling Napoli off the bag, but he's able to sweep tag the runner Prado before he gets to that first base bag. Just got him on the backside.
No first action we've seen in either pen. Greg Breslow up. There's a 1-0. And a ground ball to short. Drew to his left again. This throw is on the mark, and there are 2 outs in the inning. Set it down to Jamie.
Well, Jerry, last inning you mentioned that it seemed like Jake Peavy was taking a little more time getting his pitching signals from Jared Saltalamacchia, and that might be because Peavy is legally blind. Without contacts, he has 2300 vision, but of course when he pitches, he wears corrective lenses. It brings him back to 20/40, but he does admit as it gets darker, it's harder for him to see pitching signs. So Jared Saltalamacchia knows that he has to slow down a little bit as the game goes on.
He's got a brightly kind of neon nails tonight. Usually goes with the white, but he's got them kind of neon tonight. That's a little scary if you're a hitter.
Yeah,
I see that well.
I don't think I'd want to know that information.
One fouled off, and it's 0-2.
One thing Peavy always has had throughout his career is very good control. Does not walk many people at all.
Remember Troy Percival, the closer for the Angels?
Yes.
He would stare in like squinty like, and then throw 100 miles an hour.
Yep.
Like he couldn't see the catcher.
If he can't see the catcher, that means he can't see the pitcher either, the hitter either.
1-2 pitch. Inside, and it's 2-2. Wally very relaxed tonight on a beautiful night from Fenway.
I don't know how it can be relaxed in a game like this, a 1-1 ball game.
Breaking ball outside, full count. Shift is on. Napoli picks it on the backhand. Peavy will get there. Inning over. 7th inning stretch from Fenway. Game tied 1-1. Learning everything we need to know about the day in sports tonight following our Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Now we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. Game tied 1-1. 8-9-1 for the Red Sox here in the 7th. Stephen Drew, Brandon Snyder, and Jacoby Ellsbury. Corbin, his first pitch, a swing and a miss for strike one. He's up to 91 pitches in his outing. Drew struck out in the 2nd inning. Single to right in the 4th inning. Line into right field, a base hit. Cody Ross over to play it as Drew has a single to begin things in the bottom of the 7th inning. Overhead views tonight are provided by the Hood Blip. This summer, try new Hood Harvey bars. Each bar is made with creamy Hood ice cream and is covered in a rich chocolate coating. Learn more at hood.com.
one of the few times tonight that Corbin has left a breaking ball out over the plate, and Drew was able to handle that breaking ball and pick up his second hit of the night, so he's 2 for 3 on the night. Red Sox, will they have Snyder sacrificing here? Apparently not.
He's lined out to right and struck out swinging. First action we've seen in the Diamondbacks pen. Will Harris up. Goldschmidt holding on. Stephen Drew. To left field for Snyder. This ball wound up off the base of the wall. Drew heads to third. Throw goes to second. It's first and third with nobody out in the Boston 7th inning.
Well, much better than a sacrifice there. Let Snyder swing away. Puts the ball all toward the left field wall. A first and third situation now for the Red Sox. To the bottom of the lineup getting things started here. The 8-9 hitters for the Red Sox here in the 7th.
Charles Nagy coming out here, the pitching coach for the Diamondbacks, his first visit to talk to Patrick Corbin. It's time out for a Toyota game break. Here's Adam Pellerin. Thanks very much. Back here at Fenway Park, game tied 1-1 right now, but the Red Sox are threatening here in the bottom of the 7th inning with runners at first and third and nobody out against Patrick Corbin. The top of the Red Sox order coming up in Jacoby Ellsbury, who has not had any success tonight with Corbin. Struck out in the first, struck out in the third, and then grounded out in the 5th.
The 2 strikeouts coming on sliders, the ground out on a fastball.
Ellsbury grounds the first pitch foul.
That's a breaking ball that time that stayed inside. That's one I think that Ellsbury would like to have back.
Just away, and it evens at 1-1. Second pinch runner at first base. Brock Holt is going to run at first base for Brandon Snyder. So Brock Holt running at first. Snyder's night is over. And a check on Holt, back to the bag. Ellsbury goes around, unable to hold up.
He has had a tough time tonight on that breaking ball, that slider. That's not a strike. It's off the outside part of the plate. It starts off as a strike, but ends up way out of the strike zone, and it has been a problem for Jacoby tonight.
Well, 98 tonight. Ways to go to get to his high of 113 this season. Has reached his average. Single by Drew, a single off the wall by Snyder. Brock Holt now running at first. First and third, nobody out. In the dirt and taken off for second is Holt. Good read, and he gets there without a problem.
Excellent read at first base by Holt. As soon as he saw that ball was going to bounce in the dirt, he just took off at second base. Excellent secondary lead. Good read. Now 2 men in scoring position. Infield comes in for Arizona.
Wild pitch gets Holt to second base and into scoring position with nobody out. 2-2 pitch. Ellsbury to center field. In comes Pare. It's going to fall for a hit. From third comes Drew. Throw to third is late, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. Well, give Jacoby Ellsbury a lot of credit. He's had some tough at-bats tonight against Patrick Corbin, but he drives in the go-ahead run this time.
Hey, you're exactly right, Don. You know, he kept throwing that breaking ball off the outside part of the plate, but this one stays on the plate, and Ellsbury stays right with it. Able to drop it in front of Power in center field, driving the run, give the Red Sox a 2-1 lead. He's had to battle hard all night long, and boy, when you get a base hit like that off a tough pitcher, that's huge.
Well, that's going to be it for Corbin. Here comes Kirk Gibson to make the change. So a new pitcher coming in here for Arizona. Red Sox have taken a 2-1 lead. Right down the middle 100% of the time. Ordered by 11:30 a.m. You'll receive your delivery same day guaranteed. All the brands you want at prices you love. Who but WB Mason? Well, Patrick Corbin goes 6+. He's responsible for the 2 men on. He's just relinquished the lead. Red Sox have taken a 2-1 lead. And Will Harris comes into the game, his 34th appearance. 2-0, the 2.20 earned run average. 34 strikeouts to 10 walks, and opponents hitting at 264 against Harris. And Shea Victorino, who homered in the 5th inning, comes up here for Boston. Has also singled a 2-for-3 night for Victorino. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike one.
And we've seen the Red Sox many times this season in situations like this use the safety squeeze. I think Victorino in that case just showing bunt on the first pitch.
Clock hold, pitch running at third base. Jacoby Ellsbury at first base. Oh, swing and a miss, and a pitch. It was up 0-2.
Up and out of the strike zone that time to Victorino, and he knew it.
And Harris backs off. Joe Thatcher's been joined by David Hernandez. Saw Thatcher in last night's game. Hernandez, the former Oriole. 0-2 pitch. Have to wait as Harris backs off again. Harris claimed off waivers in April from the Oakland A's. Pop-up foul, out of play. Patrick Corbin responsible for the men on as he leaves so far charged with 2 runs and is on the hook in this game. Red Sox pulled ahead here in the bottom of the 7th, looking to add on. Victorino take it a little bit low, 1-2. Dustin Pedroia on deck. Red Sox batting with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fouled off the catcher that time to Nieves.
I'm wondering if Victorino hurt himself in one of these swings, because he seems to be favoring his left side. I think it might have been on that ball that was up and out of the strike zone. Ever since then, it looks like he's been favoring his left side.
Fly ball center field. Hara going way back to the track to make the catch, shy of it, and tagging at third and scoring is Hope. 3-1. Red Sox have the lead. Sac fly for Victorino, his second RBI of the night.
Good job by Victorino. Getting a ball deep enough to the outfield to get that run home from third base. A huge run at this stage of the game. Plenty deep enough to get the run home. Ellsbury tagging at first base, but he'll stay there.
One out, Ellsbury at first, and here is Dustin Pedroia.
The question is, how long will Ellsbury stay at first base? The next stolen base for Jacoby will be number 40.
Outside and low for ball one. Pedroia grounded to short in the first inning and an infield hit in the third inning, and then lined out to the center fielder Gerardo Parra in the fifth inning. Throw to first, dug out by Goldschmidt. Three and 0. David Ortiz waiting on deck. And some of the other lefties certainly glad to see Patrick Corbin out of this game. Pedroia takes strike one.
I think some of the righties happy to see him out of the game too. Yeah. It's pretty good.
He is on the hook in this one right now, coming in individually at 12 and 2 with a 2.24 run average into tonight's outing. But here's a 3-1 pitch. Pedroia fouls it off to the right, out of play. Long way right now for Jake Peavy. He's thrown 95 pitches through the first 7 innings. Now has a 2-run lead. Three-two pitch. Gunn backing off as Harris. Ellsbury takes off and the pitch fouled off. Ellsbury off again, and a swing and a miss for Pedroia, who strikes out for the second out, but a stolen base for Jacoby Ellsbury, and that is his 40th of the year.
The fastball about one high that time, and Pedroia looks like he might have got the arm on the backswing as Jacoby Ellsbury. No problem getting into second base. Back out comes Kirk Gibson.
Jacoby with a steal of second base with now 2 down in the inning. Pitching change here for Arizona with the Red Sox on top 3-1. Live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices and HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. 3-1, Red Sox have the lead. They have scored twice here in the 7th inning. The runs charged to the starter, Patrick Corbin. Will Harris leaves, and now Joe Thatcher in his second appearance with Arizona after the trade, coming over from the Padres at the trade deadline. And Thatcher making his 52nd appearance of the year, 3-1 with a 2.08 earned run average, 29 strikeouts to only 4 walks, and opponents hitting at 241. Worked in last night's game. Ortiz takes ball 1. David singled to right in the second, struck out in the third, and grounded out to first base in the 5th. Pops it up. Shift is on right side. Aaron Hill coming back to the infield dirt to make the catch that ends the inning. Red Sox get a pair and take a 3-1 lead. And Tim Wakefield to break down the game, and Jamie will bring you clubhouse reaction. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. You can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. And this game summary brought to you by Xfinity from Comcast, as Shane Victorino's had a nice night for the Red Sox. 2 for 3 with a home run and a sacrifice fly, all part of a Red Sox 3-1 lead. Jake Peavy, 7 innings deep, 3 hits. He's given up 1 run, the home run by Paul Goldschmidt. Brock Holt staying in the game at third base after he pinch ran for Brandon Snyder. Will Nieves leading it off here for the Diamondbacks in the 8th. 1 for 2 for the Arizona catcher. They take strike 1. Looked like a long wait for Peavy.
Yeah, it was, and I was wondering if they would bring him back out for the 8th inning after that long wait. 98 pitches on the night.
He had a season high 118 pitches in his last start, and gives up a base hit here to start things in the 8th. Second hit of the night for Nieves. Red Sox have Breslow and Tazawa up. We saw Breslow up earlier in the game, and now joined by Tazawa. And here comes John Farrell. He pops out of the dugout. So after the leadoff base hit for Nieves, they should get a very good reception here tonight at Fenway Park, as Jake Peavy will be headed off in his debut for Boston in what was a very good first outing. first base. But the line at the moment is 7+ 4 hits, 1 run. He walked 2, struck out 7 through 99 pitches in his Red Sox debut.
And you couldn't have asked for a better night for Jake Peavy tonight.
Call to bullpen is brought to you on Nesson by New England Ford dealers. As Craig Breslow comes into the game, his 38th appearance. 3-2 with a 2.54 earned run average, 19 Ks, 11 walks, and opponents hitting at 255. Breslow threw a scoreless 12th and 13th inning Wednesday night against Seattle. He's got 4 straight scoreless appearances over the last 5 innings. Deals with Cliff Pennington. Fouls the first pitch back for strike 1.
Pennington, a switch hitter from the right side, 214, from the left side, 257. So switch him around to the right side with Breslow in the game.
And there for strike 2, 0-2. Davis with a single to begin the inning. Now Pennington batting out of the 9 spot. And this pitch hits it. So the first 2 reach here now for Arizona in the 8th. Breslow hits the first batter that he faces.
Now Breslow really trying to waste a pitch. No balls and 2 strikes, and instead gets Pennington right on the foot. Trying to go with the breaking ball down and in.
Two on, nobody out. Gerardo Parra coming up here. He is 0 for 3. Flying out to center, fouling out to third base, and then striking out swinging.
And we'll see how the Diamondbacks play this with Parra up, lefty against lefty. Will they have him sacrificing to try to get 2 men into scoring position? A lot of times on the road you do not play for the tie.
He is squaring, and he gets it down the third baseline, but foul. Covidien, delivering innovative healthcare products across the globe, is a proud sponsor of the Red Sox Foundation. Napoli headed out to talk to Breslow here. Squaring again and fouling it off again. So 2 bids by Parra, and he can't get the job done.
A couple of breaking balls from Breslow, and Parra not able to get the bunt down on the ground.
Hill on deck, 2 on, nobody out. Arizona trying to answer a 2-run bottom of the 7th inning for Boston.
This may be the last batter that Breslow faces.
And he's squaring again. This time he will take it for a ball on a close pitch.
We've seen this a couple of times recently, where even on the second strike they have the man squaring around a bunt, and Breslow just missing the outside corner that time.
Not bunting this time, kind of chopping it through the left side into left field, a base hit, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for the Diamondbacks in the 8th. A slashing type swing from Parr as he gets it through the left side.
Yeah, just trying to make contact with a couple of strikes on him, forgetting about the bunt this time, and picks up the base hit to left field. Not Johnny Gomes is shallow enough for that run cannot score. Out comes John Farrell.
So the pitching change from Fenway Park as Arizona with the bases loaded, nobody out in the 8th. Brought to you by Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. Follow the Hood Blimp on Facebook and Twitter at Hood Blimp. Well, things have certainly tightened up here as the Red Sox move on to their 3rd pitcher of the game. As Shinichi Tozawa comes into the game for Boston, his 50th appearance, 4-3 with a 3.00 earned run average, 52 strikeouts, 8 walks. And opponent sitting at 270 against Tozawa. Breslow did not record an out. He faced 2 batters. He hit Pennington and gave up a single to Parra. Jake Peavy is responsible for the first runner, and Nieves, who's now at 3rd base. So bases are loaded with nobody out after the Red Sox had scored twice in the bottom of the 7th inning to take a 3-1 lead. And you get the heart of the order coming up here. First, Aaron Hill will be coming up with the bases loaded against Tozawa. Aaron Hill struck out twice and singled. Tozawa threw an inning in 2/3 in last night's game against Arizona. 7th time pitching more than an inning this season. In those games, a 0.79 earned run average. This is line to left center field, in for a base hit. Scoring is Nieves. Pennington behind him. The throw to the plate will be in time. They get him. Well, the first out of the inning comes at the plate. 1 run gets in, and it is now 3-2.
Oh, what a throw by Johnny Gomes, going to his left and throws a strike to Saltalamacchia on 1 bounce. Looked like it was going to be easy to score 2 on this, but watch the throw. And not even a slide at home plate. Gomes picks up his 5th assist of the season. There's the tag put on by Saltalamacchia. I thought Pennington was going to either try to knock him over or at least slide. He just kind of ran into the tag.
That is the first out of the inning. It's 1st and 2nd now. Paul Goldschmidt, the batter, he has walked, hit a solo home run, and lined out to right. And take a pitch up and away for ball one. The run that scores is charged to Peavy. So he is charged with 2 runs in 7+ innings. He can win it, he can't lose it, as this one is fouled off to the right out of play. But he's going to need some help from the bullpen right now, with 1 out here in the inning and runners at first and second for Arizona. Keith Bell has joined David Hernandez in the pen. Arizona's already used Will Harris and Joe Thatcher in relief of Patrick Corbin. Swing and a foul by Goldschmidt. 1-2.
Split of that time from Gazawa, trying to induce that ground ball and maybe a double play.
Pickoff play at second, and back safely is Parra.
Yeah, Pedroia was just standing at second base, almost like a first baseman holding on a runner. The spin and throw by Tazawa, not quite in time.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout there for Tazawa. Gets Goldschmidt. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. First strikeout for Tazawa.
That's huge by Tazawa. Good hitter there in Goldschmidt. Throws the fastball by him away. It was supposed to be inside, but it tails to the outside part of the plate, and the strikeout.
Chavez 0 for 3 in the game. He's popped out to third base, grounded out to first, and fouled out to third base. And used as the DH tonight. To left field. Gomes will move over and make the catch. It's Johnny Gomes' defense in this inning that keeps this a 1-run lead for the Red Sox. Advil Relief and Action campaign. 3-2. Red Sox have the lead over Arizona as we get ready for the bottom of the 8th inning as we send it to Jamie Erdahl.
Don, one last reminder to all fans that they still have time to name the championship of all baseball movies in our AT&T poll. Text 536-536 with the letters A, B, C, or D for your favorite movie, as you can see here on the screen. And we will reveal the results after Red Sox post-game coverage on NESN Sports Today.
All right, Jamie, thanks very much.
Just like this game, it's very tight.
Now, Mike Napoli and the Red Sox would like to obtain some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ruben Hernandez into the game, his 47th appearance, 4-6 with a 4.98 earned run average. 48 strikeouts to 7 walks. And a fly ball foul off to the right out of play. Napoli has walked twice tonight and popped out to short. On the hook is Patrick Corbin, who ends up in 6+ innings. He may have 8 hits and 3 runs. Napoli takes strike 2. Two and two now to Napoli. I mentioned Hernandez, formerly a member of the Baltimore Orioles, broke into the big leagues with the O's in 2009, was there in 2010, and now in his 3rd season with Arizona. He's traded to the Diamondbacks. The Mark Reynolds deal in December of 2010, and Reynolds was a big part of the Orioles' success last year. 2-2 pitch fouled off to the right. But don't forget, NESN's post-game coverage of the Sox begins right after the game with WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Tim Wakefield joins Adam Pellerin to bring you the highlights, and Jamie will bring you reaction from the players. WB Mason Extra Innings Live. Can't go wrong when you buy right. WB Mason. Two is low and away, full count. Last 14 games, Hernandez 0-2 with a 9.75 earned run average. He's given up 13 earned runs in his last 12 innings of work. And he walks Napoli to begin the bottom of the 8th. That's the 3rd time Mike Napoli has walked tonight. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, invites you to join the walking club. Sign up today and get a cool wristband. Plus everything you need to start a walking program for better health. Find out more at bidmc.org. Leadoff walk here for Napoli to begin the inning. Johnny Gomes 0 for 3. Struck out, flied out twice. Takes strike 1. Napoli held on by Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Fouled back, 0-2.
Johnny Gomes in the 8th inning, a big assist from left field, going to his left, gets his body in a great position, one hop to Salt to Lamacher, and they're waiting for Pennington at home plate. Without that throw right there, this could be a tie ball game.
So tonight, Jake Peavy, 7+ innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. He walked 1 and struck out 7. Actually walked 2 and struck out 7. 1-2 pitches, strike 3. So Hernandez strikes out Johnny Gomes for the first out here at the bottom of the 8th.
Gomes right there, fooled on the breaking ball from Hernandez.
One on, one out, and Jared Saltalamacchia coming up. 0 for 3 in the game. Has reached on a fielder's choice, fly to right, and last time up bounced into a 5-4-3 double play. Fastball at 96 by him for strike 1. Fly ball out to deep right center field. Parra going back at the wall. It's gone. Salty takes it out of the yard. A 2-run shot, and the Red Sox take a 5-2 lead. Some much needed insurance for the Sox.
When Saltalamacchia hits home runs, he hits those high, long ones. He's got that uppercut swing which lifts the baseball, and that time lifted it right into the Red Sox bullpen. If I'm not mistaken, I think Uehara was warming up, made the catch on it. Parra runs out of room. There's Uehara.
The Sox have now gone deep 118 times. With it, Hess Express donated $500 more to the pediatric trauma program at Boston Children's Hospital, bringing the season total of $59,000. Hess Express committed to helping the cause. With some breathing room for the Red Sox. David Hernandez giving up a 2-run shot after the leadoff walk, and Kirk Gibson coming back to the mound again. Look at the numbers on Hernandez lately, and that is now 15 earned runs in his last 12 innings. As he leaves, Red Sox lead at 5-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation this season. Well, Tony Sipp into the game here. His 48th appearance, 3-1 with a 3.94 earned run average. 36 strikeouts to 18 walks. An opponent sitting at 234 against the former Cleveland Indian. Sipp has a 1.95 earned run average in his last 13 games. He's given up 2 earned runs in his last 9 1/3. Left-handers have 2 hits over the last 15 at bats. Came over from the Indians in December. Part of a 3-team trade that included the Reds. Ball 1 to Stephen Drew. 2-hit night tonight for the Red Sox shortstop. Struck out in the second. Since then has singled twice to right. And has 2 of 9 Boston hits. That's a strike. 2-1. Plenty of outings for Tony Sipp over the years with Cleveland. He led all American League lefties with 202 appearances from 2010 through last year, 2012. Ranked 3rd in holds during that time behind Scott Downs and Matt Thornton. And the lefties in the AL. 2-2. Brock Hole waiting on deck. He pinch ran for Brandon Snyder in the 7th inning. He's not batted yet in this game. Ball 3, full count. Herb Gibson has now used Will Harris, Joe Thatcher, David Hernandez, and Tony Sipp in relief of Patrick Corbin, who went 6+ innings, gave up 3 runs, and is on the hook. 3-2 pitch is strike 3. Stephen Drew does not agree. He's out number 2 of the 8th inning.
A slider that time by Sipp to pick up the strikeout against Drew. It's like a good pitch right at the bottom of the strike zone. Had a chance this afternoon to visit the Arizona clubhouse, and I went in to see Don Baylor, who was a former teammate of mine, and met in the office with Kurt Gibson. I tell you, those 2 guys, Gibson and Baylor, they had second baseman and shortstop for lunch at second base. I'm telling you. I mean, my knees were scared when they were shaking when I went in the office. They would really come after you in the middle of the infield.
Two down here in the 8th inning. Brock Holt batting for the first time tonight. 256 average. No homers, 10 runs batted in with Boston. And a grounded to shortstop. Cliff Pennington will fire to first for the out that ends the inning. But a 2-run home run for Jared Saltalamacchia gives the Red Sox a 5-2 lead. home run of the year. Tied the game 1-1. And Jared Saltalamacchia with an important 2-run home run in the 8th inning. Red Sox have homered in 8 straight games. And the long ball has been helping Boston lately. Saltalamacchia giving the Red Sox some breathing room as they enjoy a 3-run lead now. Red Sox bring on the closer, Koji Uehara. His 51st appearance, 2-0 with a 1.46 earned run average. 9 out of 12 in save opportunities, 70 Ks to 8 walks. And opponents sitting at 150 against Uehara. Tazao ends up going 2/3 of an inning, giving up a hit, no runs. He had a strikeout. Pitcher record is Jake Peavy, who came in at 8-4 into tonight's action. And a chance here for Uehara to wrap it up here for the Sox. Martin Prado has walked, fly to right, grounded out to shortstop.
Down in Tampa Bay, they're in the 10th inning right now. San Francisco and Tampa Bay tied up at 1-1.
It was Lincecum against Price in tonight's game. First at bat for Prado ever against Uehara. Foul tip for strike one. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good split fingered fastball from Uehara to get the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Up and in for ball 3, full count. Uehara threw 2 perfect innings of relief Wednesday night against Seattle. 10th straight scoreless appearance. That's over the last 12 innings. Did he go around? No. Tried to hold up and spun around to get out of the way of the pitch. And almost went around in the process.
And that's almost something you never see Uehara do, is walk about it. I think that's a good call by the first base umpire right there.
So a leadoff walk for Martin Prado. Cody Ross, the batter, after his big night last night of 4 hits and 5 at bats, has been quieted down so far tonight. He's flied out to center, flied out to right, and grounded out to shortstop. 0 for 3 in the game. Jumps on the first pitch and fouls it back for strike 1. Up high, 1-1. Lost 1 for 2 in his career against Uehara. Kubel, who's on deck, is 3 for 4 against Uehara as this pitch misses inside. 2-1. Foul tip, 2-2.
After a couple of pitches up in the strike zone and out of the strike zone, Uehara goes back to the splitter to get a strike.
Uehara did not allow a run in any of his 14 appearances in July. He was over 15 and a third innings pitched. For the first and back to the bag is Prado. Had to dive back to get back. Right side as Pedroia ranges over. He'll go to second for the force out there. And reaching at first base is Ross. They do get the lead runner for the first out of the night.
Yeah, no rush by Pedroia. He knew that the way the ball was hit, they were not going to be able to get a double play. Just make sure you get the force out at second base. Drew takes a peek at first base, realizes there's no play there, holds on to the baseball.
So one out, Cody Ross at first base, and Jason Kubel coming up. Mentioned his success against Uehara, 3 for 4 in his career. 0 for 3 in the game. He struck out twice and grounded out to first base. Red Sox in a shift on him on the right side of the infield. Brock Holt is going to duck out to short right field now. Napoli holds on the runner in Ross at first. And a swing and a miss for Kubel. Ball 2-2-1. Kubel fouls it off to the left. 2-2. Cody Ross at first base, 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Red Sox have a 5-2 lead. Thanks to 2 runs in the 7th and 2 runs in the 8th. And very good pitching tonight from Jake Peavy. 2-2. And it's on the ground. Shift is on. Drew to second for 1. On to first for 2, and the Red Sox win. Double play that wraps up the game, and a good night for the Red Sox. A 5-2 victory, and Jake Peavy gets the win in his first game in a Red Sox uniform as he goes 7 innings and gives up just 2 runs. And the Red Sox take game 2 of the series, winning this one 5-2. Now, Bob's Discount Furniture will once again donate $1,000 to Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon for every Sox game saved this season. Tonight's save, Bob's donation total this year now stands at $22,000. Everybody saves money at Bob's Discount Furniture. Visit mybobs.com to learn more. So Peavy is a winner. Save for Uehara. Red Sox win game 2, and it's all good tonight, Adam.